Uh, Neurotic Goose is now AFK!
I'm not. I'm just waiting for my game to catch up.
It got stuck in purgatory for so long. It put you in AFK. Oh, that's hilarious.
Just hear the entire server infrastructure powering on loop here. Welcome back. So, you're probably wondering how I got here. Well, my mother always told me that a stork delivered me, but storks and geese tend to not cross paths very much, so I think that there's more to that story. All funnies aside, the answer starts, as always, with power. Specifically, our current state of not having any. While I grab a few flowers real quick, because yes, naturally it makes sense that the power infrastructure of a soon-to-be space-age industrial civilization should be entirely dependent on our ability to cultivate wild lavender, thank you, Gregtech. Let's once again talk about power. We have one option, period, and it's compressed solars. The power from solar boilers might as well be a wet fart at this point. The Gregtech single block panels are objectively worse than compressed solars in every way, and also we couldn't mass produce them if we wanted to, since the solar factory is a glorified paperweight until we can make Cenarium, and multi-block solar options are gated by materials we can't smelt. Now, compressed solars come in 4 flavors of suck, and 2 flavors of pretty decent, and those 2 flavors are water and fire. We spent a great deal of time, and I do mean a great deal of time, trying to set up an automatic rain station in a way that wouldn't be horribly obnoxious for everyone to live with, and failed utterly, so the only good option we have are fire panels, yippee. As panels go, the fire ones are pretty decent. They grant a free 2x multiplier simply by existing in the nether, and have no time of day, sky visibility, or weather requirements, since the nether kind of has none of those. So it's a 2x power generation multiplier on top of passively producing power non-stop. The real pain in the butt is the 3x requirement, which is the solars have to be fed a constant supply of Ignis Centivis. How much Centivis, you ask? 10 per panel. To put it bluntly, Centivis production is a problem purely because Thaumcraft is mathematically challenged. Centivis is a resource you get out of energized nodes. The bigger the node you energize, the more Centivis you get out of it, somewhat. When Centivis outputs are calculated for each primal aspect, the node starts by selecting the highest single aspect count of the node that contains each primal aspect in sequence. The rest of the aspects are ignored. This means that if you have a node with 20 Terra and 10 Vitreous, a compound aspect comprised of Terra and Ordo, the node would start calculating with 20 Terra and 10 Ordo, and effectively deletes the rest of the Terra inside the Vitreous. But wait, it gets worse. Say you have a node with 10 Metallum, which is made out of Terra and Vitreous. That node still only gives 10 Terra and 10 Ordo because the compounds don't stack even when you break apart the same aspect. This forces us to stack a huge amount of Ignis, or a compound with Ignis in it, into nodes, which flies in the face of most node upgrade mechanics, which tend to spread their aspect additions randomly. But wait, it gets even worse. When you energize that Metallum node, you don't get 10 Centivis of Terra and Ordo. No, that would be too easy. Instead, the game takes the square root of that number and rounds it, meaning that even if we somehow manage to make a node with 10,000 Ignis in it, energizing it would only give us 100 Centivis, which is enough to power a measly 10 panels, to the tune of 400 additional EU per tick, which is not even a single amp of HV power. As it so happens, I really hate metaphorical elephants, particularly the ones of the massive pink and tap dancing varieties, and especially the ones that are doing any of those 3 things in my power infrastructure, so this prompts a bit of a overreaction, possibly. The first hurdle that I tried to cross is the bulk crafting of compressed solars in the first place. The major bottleneck of their construction is the manual crafting step that uses a wand, because everything else can be automated, but AE2 arcane crafting is EV gated, and they are expensive enough that standing at a terminal spam crafting them in the regular arcane crafting terminal while the wand slowly recharges manually isn't feasible. This is a problem of efficiency more than anything, because the actual capacity of our crafting wand doesn't matter, it's only the vis discount and recharge speed. So I was going to spend 4.5 hours trying to get the stuff to make a shadow metal capped void scepter with a casual price tag of 3 primordial pearls and a bunch of tungsten steel screws, in addition to all of our other micro crafts, but got distracted by instead trying to complete every single accessible Thumbcraft quest to upgrade all of the loot bags to their highest tier in the faint hope that those loot bags of a Grandmaster variety would drop a rare item that we need to upgrade our infusion setup, because it was slow, and I have the attention span of a squirrel. Didn't we get an impure tier somewhere? Apparently
You got
not.
a pure tier.
Darn.
Does this count for a quest if I pick it up?
What does?
No, it doesn't. The pure tier.
Oh.
I mean, if I just pick up, what is this? Is this optional?
Cumin Modus Spirit.
How do you make a stable division sigil?
Giant annoying ritual in the end.
Oh, I see. Okay. Where their osmotic enchanting setup go? I thought it would be here.
I don't know if they ever had one. We've never needed it.
They had it somewhere. I remember seeing it at their base. Just not here. What the hell am I looking at? Why do they have something with like plum leaves? You do not have enough LP? Why am I being told that?
Because I'm trying to enchant loot bags.
With what?
Looting 3?
Fortune, yes. I think there's another book in there.
Oh,
2,000 years later.
Can you even enchant these magic Grandmaster bags? I don't think so.
I'm not certain.
I don't think you can. That might be why it's having issues.
Oh yeah, we haven't overchanted. Doesn't give us crap. Okay.
I got Shadow Fortress gear. Yeah, and a node transducer. That's flippin' useless.
OP loot.
I mean, the thigh guards are technically a vis discount upgrade, I suppose. Could upgrade them into the primordial stuff, I suppose. It's actually a relatively easy thing to do. I might do that and make that my armor set.
Can we just... What's stopping us from making a research completer?
The lack of research needed to complete, and labor.
It's a magic adept loot bag
Yeah,
for
I
making
know.
the structure.
I know. There's a few that I haven't
Or
done
for the
yet.
controller, I mean. Sorry, just the structure.
This set of actions resulted in neither of those two upgrades happening, because instead of getting any of the relatively common Essentia storage cell items from those loot bags, I instead got the very rare drop of a full set of Void Fortress armor, which is an Ivy-gated armor set that can be used to craft a weirdly less gated version of Witching Gadget's armor that's basically just a better-looking version of Awakened Icorium. At long last, I have obtained...
Machine.
That is actually just its name.
Oh, yeah, I can just slap the Crimson Portal, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
You can try. It usually gives...
No, I just got instant gibbed.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It's the interest of time, so I don't have to walk like 10k blocks. I don't want to gen more chunks.
No, I can't blame you. Honestly, I'm of the opinion that we should be able to teleport anyway, but...
I just don't want to generate more chunks.
Yeah, void, 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 void. Shadow, 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 shadow. I'm actually going to borrow these pearls because I want to use them to make myself Shadow Fortress sets first. And then I can recharge them, I think.
Wrong.
That's how it's supposed to work.
Are you going to use, what, the pearls?
So, the way you make the primordial armor set is you use 3 pearls, but it doesn't destroy them. It turns them into powerless pearls.
Wrong.
And then you can recharge them. If the totally in sync and realistic voiceover courtesy of my good friend Carrot Top didn't clue you in, my initial belief that the 3 primordial pearls used to make each armor piece weren't consumed was
Wrong.
Thank you, Spraytan. That'll be all. This leaves me holding the bag on a 12 primordial pearl bill, which we can cover, but at the cost of all the pearls we saved up for crafting those upgraded wands that I was going to use, which is not a great trade in the history of trades. Now, conveniently, all of these problems can be solved by a fun new piece of Gadamancy tech that lets us spontaneously generate Eldritch dungeons out of Sinister nodes and a bit of wand juice. So, sure, it can be worked around. That said, Gadamancy dungeon generation logic was apparently written by a rat on ketamine and has a decent chance of deleting essential rooms, like the boss room, whenever and wherever it feels like it. So they're not the most reliable. But we already defeat these dungeons by throwing barn doors at the ceiling, so nobody's gonna really be all that concerned by a bit of jank. What they might be concerned about, however, is the sudden spontaneous disappearance of every Sinister node in a 2-kilometer radius of spawn. It's fine, they've just been repurposed. I can't see why anyone else would have needed them for anything, no sir.
Come on, could you stop spawning angry zombies for like 2 seconds?
No. All angry zombie.
Oh my god, there's so many!
You can light it up.
I don't have my light stuff on me, I don't think.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
I mean, that works.
A little bit of light pollution never hurt nobody.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I think you're good. Alright, I'm gonna go get some more Sinister nodes then, I guess.
Hold on, take my mats then. Hold on. Which
Your
backpack had
mats.
it?
Oh, money.
And take a bunch of wands as well.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I don't you worry. I have another backpack of wands.
Yeah, I wonder how weird this dungeon's gonna get.
Probably pretty weird.
I'm kind of like morbidly curious. Oh yeah, there's already an open hallway. These 2 merged boss rooms?
They do that, yeah. It will start deleting the door.
No, let me get my loot first. Yeah, it spawned. My loot still spawns, okay.
Oh yeah, you can just break the portal and then steal the node from underneath it. Perfect.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah. People are going to be like, yo, what the heck happened to all of these Eldritch dungeons? Guess.
I moved them.
I ate them.
I duplicated them.
Or more accurately, nothing.
Oh god, I got Sherrock the Mighty, of course. This guy. I hate Lightning Floor Man. He's downtime boss. All this for primordial pearls.
Shiny orbs. God damn, I'm fast.
I want that so bad. It looks so fun.
They're cheap. Like, help yourself. If you have the regular boots even, you can just upgrade them and it'll keep enchantments and everything.
I do have the regular ones.
Yeah, you weren't joking about these zombie spawn rates. Holy cow.
Yeah, I know. It's only during night. They go crazy during night. I don't know why.
Someone needs to chill. Chill!
It's only during the night. Yeah, I know. They're angry.
How many of these do you want to collect?
How many orbs do you want is a better question.
What do you mean orbs? Oh, for
How many
Bloodman?
pearls? I mean, I'm sorry. Primordial pearls.
Yeah, that was my question, because I figure if you want a set and I want a set for armor, that's 24 plus like another
We
6
can sell it for
wands.
a dwarfly high amount of money.
Do we care about money?
Apart from the bit, unless if we want to buy like convenience stuff, if we don't already make everything.
Might be good for trading with Aspect. Just get money
Yeah,
and then buy bees, I
bees.
guess.
I mean, it's buying time for something you don't want to do for something that is really easy
Yeah,
and
works for
everyone
me.
wants. I just think about it
Well,
that way. Like,
especially
wants
everyone
it,
is
it's
going to
easy.
want it because I've done nothing except suck every single...
True, we kind of have a monopoly.
We kind of have a monopoly because we have abducted every single tainted node that we have been able to locate. All right, there are ways of making them, but If people are
Not
buying
worth.
primordial pearls, then chances are they probably don't know about them.
I'll at least give Gatomancy some good boy points for adding this feature, because
It needed to
locating
happen.
these things pain in the ass. Yeah.
They could have done with a little bit of like anti-bugginess or error correction or anything. Like, even if they just deleted the previous dungeon before they spawned in the new one. But
I don't know. It's kind of funny. The only thing that isn't funny is all the stupid crabs that are camping the portal.
crabs.
I get immediately ganked by 2 crabs upon enter, or like 10 crabs when I enter. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
After Mastiox got around to dealing with his sudden infestation of crabs, I finished assembling all of my unnecessarily overpowered sort of endgame armor set and slapped all the buffs on it that I cared about. Witching Gadget's gimmick, in addition to having a 5-digit durability pool on everything that you can make with it, and the overprotection mechanic that shows up on my armor bar as a bunch of red icons, is that each piece of armor can be flipped between one of 6 primal attunements to change the passive buffs it gives when you wear it. Some of these buffs are great, most of them are not, and the real reason I care about the armor in the first place is just that wearing 2 or more pieces gives you creative flight if you attune it to air, in addition to all of the other mobility bonuses. This will probably end up being my final armor set for the foreseeable future, but I can fly, so I don't really care. Somewhere during this whole mess, I finally got around to doing all the Thaumcraft upgrades I needed, so without further ado, let us explore the question of how you generate a whole lot of Centivis really, really cheaply. Easy question with an easy answer, you don't. Next question, how do you generate a whole lot of Centivis, period? That's a bit more doable. Gregtech has allowed us to make reasonably large nodes in the past by blasting Ethereal Essence into Thermic Horizons Jankery and applying the stick of infinite cheese. The problem is scaling this tech up, which you can't, because it scales linearly and we need it to scale quadratically. All of our other good options are much worse. Node bullying was pure dog water in the base version of the game, and it has not gotten any better in New Horizons, and also isn't quadratic. Node feeding with bees is great, and you can scale it with a ridiculously good setup. It also adds aspects randomly, so the actual Centivis returns on it are pure liquefied butt cheeks in addition to being, you guessed it, not quadratic, with the added bonus of being incredibly laggy because bees. You'll notice a trend here. All of these options are too slow. We need super linear growth for spam to not be an option, and I can't imagine someone possibly being dumb enough to include one of these in the game. Oh look, a super linearly scaling aspect stacking paradigm. Thanks, Duck. Wow, that was convenient. When we were discussing how we might go about solving this problem, and were generally coming to the conclusion that the answer was don't, Duck disagreed and posted this wonderful image with the incredibly helpful message of depends on the method. No further clarification was offered. He was also offline for the next couple of days, leaving me the task of reverse engineering whatever the heck he's doing here, and it turns out to be a pretty simple solution. The answer is, as always,
Machine.
harder, plus somebody not knowing how math works on the internet. This is a Gatomancy multiblock called a node manipulator. It manipulates nodes. Duh. TLDR, if you feed it wand juice, it will scramble the node's brain a bit, and sometimes this will result in helpful things happening to the node. Mostly it changes the type of node you get semi-randomly, and occasionally will add a bit of primal vis or split an aspect into its sub-aspects or combine sub-aspects together. You know, stuff that's basically useless except for 2 interesting properties. The first is that one of the new kinds of node this machine can make is a growing node. It's basically just a hungry node, but slightly less destructive to the local everything, and in exchange for being a tad bit picky about what it eats, will really like to add aspects to itself. Cool. Easy enough, just feed it, say, several million live Thaumcraft wisps, and you'll get a super node, right? No, it's a complete and utter red herring. The node caps out and explodes if you feed it too much, and most of the time they blow their quanta somewhere around the 5,000 aspect mark, so it's worthless. Now, the real treasure is the rare chance of adding a small amount of primal aspects to the node. You see, The person who programmed this mechanic decided to get clever, and rather than implementing this the obvious and simple way and making it so that when you add primal aspects it only adds a small random amount of them, the actual calculation for how much it adds is some 3 million line long screwball vector addition nonsense that introduces, accidentally or otherwise, an effect that increases the amount of aspects added based on how big the node is. I am honestly not certain whether or not this is intentional because the way it was coded physically causes me intestinal discomfort and I could not bring myself to read it more than once. Now, when you have something that scales as a factor of itself, that means it scales quadratically, technically. In this case, very, very technically, because the effect is minuscule and is probably around orders of fractions of a percent, but the exponent is still greater than 1, which means that over the long run, compounding interest dominates, and given enough time, you can use this to bring the sun down to Earth. This flashbang on your screen isn't just a random white background, that's the texture of a pet thaumaturgical supernova bugging out and blowing somebody's monitor. Interestingly enough, the aspect counts of a node are calculated as an array of 32-bit integers internally, meaning that the largest possible node we can make before integer overflow kicks in and makes the game engine fill its trousers will produce 32,768 centivis, which is more than enough for us to power 3,200 solar panels and have plenty of leftovers to ship out to everyone else for their Thaumcraft needs forever. Sounds great. Let's take 2, please. Or in this case, 4 supernodes. Multiple times, because bootstrapping. Good lord, the bootstrapping this thing needs is ridiculous. Quadratic growth is not terribly fast in the grand scheme of things, and just getting a node from 100 points of aspect to 100,000 takes most of the alter time. So when we started the ritual, we wanted to start it with a really chonking big node in the first place. Fine. The node scrambling ritual in and of itself is also quite slow, but conveniently that part can be world accelerated, and kind of by definition power is going to be easy to come by in the nether, so that's also workable. Slap a few LV accelerators on each side of the Gadamantic altar and you have an 8x speed buff. Perfect. The ritual also requires an insane amount of wand juice, even before acceleration, so there goes all of my really high efficiency crafting scepters into the project. And also now we need a way to charge them. Go Gadget, 1 charging pedestals, plus even more world accelerators. Except, oh wait, 1 charging pedestals need massive amounts of energized nodes to power them at that speed. And we need massive energized nodes to charge the crystals to make the nodes, to make the energized nodes to charge the wands, to upgrade the node, to charge the node used to power the chargers. I ended up solving this self-incestuous cluster truck of mutual dependency by making a bunch of cheapish throwaway nodes, energizing them, using those nodes to charge more expensive nodes, energizing those nodes to charge some more even more expensive nodes with world accelerators now that my Centivis output could keep up with them, and then running the wand charging stations and charging supernodes off of that set of supernodes, resulting in this Goliath of scuffed goose tech lowering the property values of the surface of the nether. Yes, this entire area looks like arse. Do I care? Not particularly because it's the nether, and also because it works. Mostly. The wands kind of delete themselves every time their server restarts because who really even knows why, honestly? But we just spawned them back in the first time it happened and made sure not to run the machine when the server was about to restart, so it all worked out in the end. As a side note, this also means that in terms of Goose Super Mega builds, we're currently 2 for 3 when it comes to the server spontaneously destroying them for no particular reason, which is not a trend that I'm looking forward to dealing with in the future. As another side note, you probably are wondering how Duct and I managed to create enough Nabrusium essence to create multiple Aviridia matter clusters of the stuff when we break drawers holding it all and need to use auto-clickers to spam it into the shard. This is a bit of a long story that I didn't bother recording because Duck was kind of the one to spearhead the experimentation phase of it, but the executive summary is that there is an enchantment called Bowluck bopping around in the game that's kind of like the edgy Sonic OC of looting and is specifically designed to give you additional drops for items that mobs normally only drop 1 of and aren't affected by looting, or something. Again, this was Duck's experiment. I only kind of listened when he explained how it works. The key takeaway is that the effect is a wet fart 99% of the time because it specifically doesn't work on things that looting does and doesn't stack with looting. but for some reason it will work on a few things that looting doesn't work on, and only works on them when they're killed with a projectile weapon and you're holding a bow, luck, enchanted bow, or spike in your main or offhand when the projectile is fired and kills the mob, which is an oddly specific set of circumstances that makes sense in context, I guess. Why can you put bow luck on a spike, by the way? No flipping clue, it just works. The enchantment also breaks and does nothing if you uber enchant it above level 63, and the UI of the enchantment doesn't show the enchantment level correctly, even though the enchantment does have an effective level in its NBT data. Mostly we just abuse this to get a stack of essence out of each wisp we duplicated, but we can also use it to do things like collect stacks of nether stars from a single wither boss now, in case that somehow becomes relevant later on down the line. You know, casual avian tomfoolery. Multiple hours of World Accelerator enabled charging later, and we end up with this. Like, seriously, I have to back out like 40 blocks before I can actually like see normal
Take a
colors.
screenshot. I kind of want to see this.
Oh no, I'm gonna record this and show it off. Like,
It's perfect.
that is something.
Well, how big is it now?
You are sitting at 61,000 and growing.
Yum.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a bit of a break here and then come back, and hopefully it'll be done doing its thing.
Yo, welcome back. Let's go.
Welcome back. Are you ready for no chat?
I am ready for node.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go. I can show you the wither shit as well.
Oh no, I saw the screenshot. I can well imagine how busted that particular bit of tech is.
It's very good. I ended up using charms for that as well. There's a HE charm that gives you 60% damage per charm. So
yes, the charms are busted.
That's kind of nuts. That's 180% damage on a crossbow that does 100 damage. It's cooked.
So this whole setup is done, right? We can dismantle it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm charging another one right now because we might need a second one later.
Oh,
So
fair.
we'll let that charge. But there's
I mean,
one
we can let it
basically
cook.
ready to be jarred up. Yeah. There's no harm. I accidentally voided one of the water accelerators. I'm crafting another one real quick. But yeah, that one's ready to be jarred.
Voided one of the whats?
The world accelerators.
Oh, whatever. Wand and wand. Pick you. Smack wand you.
Epic. Did
I
you
think
finish all the other ones?
finish all the other whats.
The ones?
Oh yeah, they're done. They're in position right now. I'm
Okay,
just waiting on the World Excel.
Sick.
120,372 Essentia.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
good.
that's
It's pretty good.
ridiculous.
Can't wait. I want to see how fast this scales.
Most of the scaling is pretty darn fast after you get to this point.
Yeah, I imagine.
It needs to be on the... We need 2 for the... Shoot, the wands.
More word accelerators?
Yeah, the 2.
What do we need?
Yeah.
Oh, you just, steal them from there, that's fine. This will cook passively. I put like 20,000 in there. It's probably moving more. It's fine.
Oh, I don't think... Can I... Oh yeah, you can put a wand in there. It just knocked it off when I placed on him. Okay.
Nice.
Do you care to do the honors?
Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna turn off push to talk. Okay, let's go.
Alright.
Where
For
are we
a
at?
whack.
Alright, 120 CV.
Oh, you can't have anything in your offhand. It bugs out the Gadamancy altar.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have enough fizz in this one. Okay, we'll find
Well,
out.
I should be able to find out. Yeah.
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't have enough fizz
I
in
don't know
this
what I
one
meant to-
either. Alright, let's try one of these. Yeah, it's not working. Does it not? It might not like the world excels. Oh, yep.
Oh yeah, we
Don't
might
mind
have to
me.
put them in after. Less bats.
Yeah, it comes from
Alright, I
wearing
can kill
40
them
warps
with
worth of
300
armor.
damage.
Am I dumb?
Surprise!
Oh, there we go. I wasn't clicking on the right
Oh, it
thing.
worked. It worked. It worked. Hey, nice, nice.
So that should do that, and then it's being nice and slow.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh shit! I got one of the ones. I got
It's
two of the
gonna
ones.
keep knocking them off. Yeah. There you go. And then we just stick them back on the pedestals when you got them.
Okay, sick. Alrighty. Let's see this thing cook.
Oh, it just jumped from 100.
62.
Just picked up a casual 60,000. Oh my god. What is this? Oh, and it just deleted it again. The
Oh, it
ultimate
removed it,
gamba. We
removed it.
just gained and lost 120,000 aspects.
What the heck?
Can you stick the wands back on, or is it... Oh, are they all recharging? Wow,
I-
they're all recharging.
Oh no, okay, yeah, they use a lot.
They use a lot. Okay, that's fine, though. That's pretty close to where it needs to
So
be.
we instantly. Damn. That's
Oh,
pretty
yep,
good.
there you go. Another
Oh, there
45,000
we go.
Ignis. That's a pretty normal and safe and nice-sized wand. I have a thermometer on me, do I?
It's only just gonna get better. Wait, I think it's like based on the compound, isn't it? I don't know how it actually works. The randomizer.
I just researched it and gained 12,000 points of Nibrusium research. I shouldn't have done that, but there was just a blob of yellow on my screen. Here, do you want a thermometer?
Yeah, let me research it as well.
There you
I
go.
think that
Oh,
would be,
hang on,
that'd be quite
magnet
handy.
moment.
Let me put a magnet on.
Because I've definitely used Nibrusium in my research. Oh, picked up another 37,000
Holy
ordo.
crap. Holy crap. That's pretty good. Oh, now we got another compound on there, surely.
Ooh, Potentia.
Ooh. I didn't realize how nuts this.
It's already almost doubled in
It's so-
size. Can I have my scanner back?
I know. Oh yeah, here's your skin. Oh shit.
So we just
There
leave
we go.
this for, a day or two.
It's literally fully passive.
Yep. It powers
Oh my
itself.
God.
It just
Oh my
powers
God.
itself.
Yeah, I think we're sorted for Sievers. We can
Yeah.
probably have one node that powers everything, probably.
That's kind of my thought. I mean, I figure we get, what, 10 million Ignis effective? What's square root of 10 million? Enough?
Pretty good. I think it was 1,000, right?
No, that's square root of 1 million.
Square root. It should be
3,162. A casual 300
it is. Fuck yeah,
solars.
I'm stupid. That's pretty good, yeah. I think we have 200 right now. How many do we have? I don't know how many we have.
This is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 28 times 4 times 4. 446.
Yes.
So that's basically enough to power all of these once it gets to 10 million, and it's just gonna keep scaling past that.
Perfect. Yeah, I feel like it's going to get past 10 million. Oh, I guess it needs to be Ignis 10 million.
Like, effective, yeah. But I'm figuring if it's gonna, on average, break down. I don't know what the statistical average of all compound aspects is. I feel like it's gonna be pretty even. Maybe a bit of a bias towards Ordo, because there's gonna be a lot of stuff for Humanus and Potentia. I feel like Ordo and Perdido are gonna have a bit of bias, but yeah.
Look, this is insane.
Yep, we've already gone from 130,000 or whatever to 500.
Yeah. Oh. And it's exponential, so
yeah.
Once we get to the millions, it'll be fucking
600.
This is nuts.
I don't know what they were thinking when they made this mod. Like, how do you scale this and not go, this is exponential growth? Yeah, could use a little more juice on the wands. Just world accelerators.
Yeah.
They're kind of bottoming out, but such is life.
Could add some more. That's fine.
I'm not terribly
I think it's
concerned
fast
about it. It'll
enough.
run overnight, and we're going to come back to like integer limit. No, what happens when the ascension values go over the integer limit? Do we have to worry about
I
that?
don't know. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. Maybe.
Either that or underflow. I don't know. Guess we'll find out.
There will be
Either
some
way,
under. There will be some under it. Oh, the Nebrism just went down. Damn. The
yep,
node size just went down. We're literally gambling.
it is pure gamba.
But yeah, I think on average it's going to increase. So
It
we're
will.
chill.
Yeah, I've tested it, and I've never seen them decrease. As a side note, these nodes never actually decrease in size. What we incorrectly identified as a decrease in size is actually the node combining aspects into denser and denser compound aspects. Over time, this results in, on average, most of the aspect types being concentrated into a relatively small number of high-level terminal aspects, which slows down the growth rate of the node a little bit due to the effective decrease in its pure size, but it doesn't actually delete any of the primals, and exponential growth is still exponential. So, an hour later, we end up with this.
Big node.
Big node. Well, you know, more is better.
5 hours later.
Well, it just dropped to 181, so it's definitely still in flux in a variety of ways. Yep, 186. We're just switching by orders of a million at this point.
Mm.
Yeah, it just dropped down to 183. 186. Yeah, it's getting there. While we let the mother of all nodes cook in our basement, I have been a busy little beaver up in the normal world, doing such lovely projects as making fancy roofs, which will cover our machines so they do not introduce unexpected ventilation holes in our new base of operation. I, of course, am contractually, professionally, ethically, and psychologically incapable of doing anything the normal way, so rather than make, a glass platform in the sky, I instead spent multiple hours of my human lifespan constructing whatever this is and slowly moving all of our stuff into it. Did I record any of this? Absolutely not, because 95% of it was constructed while on a multiple-hour binge-watching Bender session punctuated by such hits as Toad from the Mario franchise sings a cover of I Need a Hero in 4K at 2:30 in the morning, and what few functioning brain cells that I possessed before entered witness custody programs soon after that. But hey, we have fancy buildings now. Cool. After another couple of days, things have proceeded to go off the rails in spectacular and typical Goose fashion. For one, our node has spontaneously punched a hole through reality and now possesses a negative aspect count. Sometimes. This is actually expected behavior, believe it or not. We did some testing, and despite the individual aspect count still being well under the integer limit, Wyla shows the sum total of all of them, and that number hit integer overflow a while ago. This isn't particularly harmful or anything, and as far as we can tell, it's just a visual quirk of how the mod works, but it does mean that we're getting close to the point where we want to start monitoring this thing, because if you let it grow too big, the code that calculates Centivis output bugs out, and you get energized nodes that produce 0 Centivis. Should I be concerned that the node is flipping between integer underflow and overflow?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's just kind of flip-flopping. It went from a 2 billion something to negative 2 billion something.
That's pretty balanced.
Yeah.
The fabric of reality is tearing in front of us.
Well, the highest aspect account right now is Astrum at like 300 million, so we probably got a ways to go still.
If you want, you could just turn it off and I could test it in a creative world
No, I think we're
if you're that
fine
concerned. Just to
because it
see how
only
much it gives.
yeah, it only cares about the individual aspect counts when it overflows. So I think we're fine for a while still, but the total size is a little bit questionable.
Well, It probably was not intended to make a node of this size.
Well, then they didn't think it through, did they?
Not a goose-approved mod.
Not a goose-approved mod. If you don't account for integer overflow and underflow in your mod listings, then it is an inferior solution.
It is not a GTNH ready mod.
Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, we need to make Essentia smelting equipment in this area too.
I saw Duck made some infusion stuff. Let me check
Yeah,
on
he
the
kind of
node
put it in
once
the
I load in.
wrong spot, though.
Yeah, I know. It's whatever. You can move it.
Meanwhile, Mastiox and Duck have been busy doing things. Now, credit where credit is due. Mastiox and Duck are wizards in their own right, and nothing they did here is technically wrong in any sense of the word, and in many ways it's actually more optimal than the designs that I would have done. However, you can definitely tell that there are some disciplinary differences in mindset when we build things. I come from a mathematics and computer science background. In my world, the best solution is one that can be easily understood at a glance by a person entirely unfamiliar with it, even if it is slightly less optimized as a result. And there is beauty to be found in repeating simple, easily scaled paradigms in scale. Having said that, what the actual hell is this?
It gives 17.9 thousand. Interestingly enough, it looks like it's the exact same amount for air, ordo, and perdido.
Interesting.
I think we hit some sort of cap.
Oh well. Alright, so we have a controller.
Just look in the group chat. Like it is the exact same.
Yeah, Oh well, guess we'll find out. So we have a storage bus. Okay, so this is the bulk storage subnet. That makes sense. This is the crafting and whatnot subnet, and it's peer-to-peer here. It gets its power. He's shooting a cable over to here, which is P2P for Emmy. These are going to be your crafting interfaces. I'm a Senchip provider. I'm not entirely certain what the IO port is for. Unless it's like Essentia crafting or something. I kind of don't want to mess with this, but also he put it in grossly the wrong spot. So I guess if that node is as high as it's gonna get, we can move it, but I'd feel bad about starting it off so soon. Kind of wanted the other 3,000 or whatever
I mean, if you want, I
tenderness
can
we'd get out of it.
we can turn it off, and I could just keep checking it every time if you want something specific. But I don't think it's gonna go any higher.
I'll let it sit for a while. It's not going to hurt anything because I still have to wire up the rest of this. But probably looking at flipping it over today because even then, 100 and what is that, like 180? That's going to be 64, 128. That's like not actually enough at all.
5 hours later.
So if it's already bright, do we want to try purling it just to see what happens?
I mean, I could just NBT edit it into my test world if you want me to make sure.
Yeah, we make sure. I'm just curious to see what happens if we hit it with a primal pearl. See if all of the aspects go up or just the one. But yeah, we will want to check. It looks like our biggest one is Precanto for Ignis, so you should be pulling 318 million Ignis in with that. That might, yeah, I don't know. We don't really want to roll away the bright modifier, but it might be worth trying to get some of that Ignis into the Precanto. Which we actually can't do because there is no more Ordo. So When you spawn it in, try hitting it with a pearl and see what happens. Or not punching it, but like inserting a pearl into it and see what happens.
Oh, I already energized it. Oops.
Okay.
It's 17.8k Ignis, and I energized it.
That works.
200... Way more Perdido, though. Like,
Yeah, that
Perdido
makes
got an
sense
insane
because
high roll.
there's
Yeah, it's like a 5 mil.
493
500 mil.
million Perdido.
Kind of
Let me
nutty.
see. Oreo node. It's... Oh, that's a lot of research. Alright, it is normal.
Okay, but what happens when you right click on it with a pearl? Do all of the
I'm
aspects
doing
go up
that.
or one?
I mean, we can try.
We
Kind
could,
of
but I
wasting
don't
a
want to
pearl,
risk this live node.
I'm doing it right now. Hold on.
but...
I'm just taking it before and after. I'm just posting this here to see if it goes up.
Okay.
Oh, well. What the? I right-clicked on it with the pearl and it broke up the top of the node transducer even though it wasn't on, so whatever.
I think it blows up or something.
Let me just hit it with another pearl because it didn't change.
Yeah, it blows up a flux.
Oh,
Like
okay,
a
it just
22
blew
radius.
up and flung me to the stratosphere. Okay. Nothing changed.
Darn.
So it's very minimal.
No, it has one air, actually. I
Oh
lied.
boy. It.
Okay.
I
So
think
it's
we
And
can
all
actually
skip
that
that.
for one air?
I think we can skip that. Alright, here is your
Yeah, sounds good.
dislocator.
Yeah, making it
I'm
bright
pretty
made
sure
it
it's
give
8.
way less from the transducer.
Huh. Well, I guess just don't touch it then.
I don't know why.
Might have overflowed. Who can say?
Maybe.
Yoink.
Pretty sure everything went down. Yeah, everything went down.
Yeah, now
The
whatever you
Perdido
do, do not break that node.
No, do not break it. The server's dead if you break it. That is the fabric of reality, Garfield. Do not break it.
Oh boy, it's sucking. It's sucking. I'm real glad that this process does not scale with the size of the node. Because otherwise we'd be here for a bit.
I was about to say, why is it going up? But that's because the total
Because
size is negative.
Because it's overflowed and it's reducing aspect counts.
Look, we're growing the node.
It's like watching grass grow. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, I made the mistake of punching this in my test world, and it's
Huzzah!
Nice.
Look at
Let's
that.
go.
Power's online,
Look at
gentlemen.
that.
Now, if you
That's
don't
not
mind,
too
I'm
bad.
What
just
about
gonna.
the other line? The other line's gonna explode.
Oh! You right. You right.
Where's my wire cutters?
Cut it at 4.
Damn. Oh, it's already started dispersing.
I didn't think about the
I
other
did not
line.
think. Well, I thought about that and just completely forgot that. Oh yeah, this is just gonna overload the power grid.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, we should be good now. And then, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna stick some warded ass around this
Okay,
thing.
Ignis, not too bad.
Because that would be a very expensive explosion.
Yeah, maybe.
It would just be the wires
might
going
be.
out. It wouldn't really explode because the transformers.
I'm
are
talking
limiting
about
it.
the node. If the node blew up,
Oh no!
We
I
actually
don't know if
bad
the
for the
node would
node.
blow up. Oh, okay. No, I see. Yeah, no. Keep that there.
do you have your
That
relays
glass.
on you, Duck? We're gonna need relays everywhere.
Yay, we have
We have
more than
power.
15 amps of HV.
Well, not really, because we haven't done the power logistics for it yet.
If we do all of the solar
true,
panels,
true.
if we max out the node, we can make 1 million EU per tick. I think I did the math. It's like 7.7 ZPM amps or something. If you care about that.
I think we're gonna be good with 128 amps of HV, at least in the moment. And the time that it takes us to not be good, we could just make another, though.
Yeah, that's a lot of solar panels for 1 million. You predict worth of LV ones.
Well, I mean, if we have a mega EBF and like everything giga like power hungry, just a matter of time.
We'll see if this doesn't scale with the compressed
I'm pretty
versions.
sure the compressed just 10x is that power output, and I think they only consume 10 as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
that
might.
doesn't scale.
Yeah, so it's over. Even the games.
I mean, not really, because also the costs scale exponentially.
What of the solars?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's only 8 of the
The
previous
compressed.
tier, and you get 10x more power.
But do you know what 8 of the previous tier constantly is?
Yes, I guess you're right, but the power is not exponential. Or it's way
Power is
more.
not
It's
exponential.
10x.
Power is exponential, yes.
Yeah, you're getting way more. Like it does. It's a higher ratio. It's fine. Do we want to keep the fire solar panels on the node setup?
Yep, that's our node breeder. It's just going to passively run, and then presumably Duck's going to install another node on it or something.
We have
Yeah,
extra sinister nodes if you want to. Oh wait, no, not sinister, but we had an Abrasium one at the base that wasn't contained. It's like 26 or 28k or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Duck has one that I think he was making.
Oh yeah, I put that one on main A, or the it's 271 Sievers, so it's a good intermediate.
Yep.
We do in fact have the Dyson Sphere at home.
And it looks like a giant goose brick. I'm getting
The hilarious
uncomfortable
thing.
parallels to my Big Dig power core. That's not a great comparison to be making on a server where efficiency is a priority.
The crazy thing is that this is gonna stay like this. We're just gonna be changing the cables and
Yeah,
the
everything
batteries.
except the, well, I guess we might end up making another one.
I mean, the teleposer's gonna get bigger. That's like the only thing that's gonna change.
So cool, we have power storage and somewhere to build things with them. Now for what we've been trying to do for the past episode and a half, infrastructure. Good lord, the infrastructure. We actually don't even really need to do that much to progress to EV once it arrives, since everyone who can do so has been shooting industrial amounts of titanium out of every hole in their extremities known to humankind to fuel the AE2 revolution. But what we can do is get infrastructure set up for when we need it in the future. Case in point, Essentia storage and generation. Essentia cells, barring a few select exceptions, are EV gated. But you know what isn't? Cheese. For you see, Essentia is actually liquid. Technically. Sort of. Thanks to some quirks in how Essentia interacts with Gregtech, it is technically classed as a material called a supercritical fluid, and can be stored in fluid tanks as a consequence. This means that if you, say, pipe an enormous amount of it into a subnet with a stack of fluid storage bust super tanks, you can store an autocraft with Essentia like normal. This functionality was deprecated in newer versions, sadly, but it still works on the one we're playing on, so you'd better believe that we're going to be abusing the daylights out of it while our supplies last. While we're at it, I also got Duck on the horn to teach me how his auto-infusion setup works, so we got that put together, and I slapped in a pot of greed crafting tech, plumbed it up, and consolidated all of this into a brand new Thaumcraft floor. So, in theory, we should have everything we need to automate magic crafting set up and piped into AE2 now. Next on the list is getting all of our passives up and running. We are using a patch jar file for Project Red, so auto-crafting no longer represents an existential threat to the server farm tasked with the unenviable job of supporting my design decisions, meaning that I can now let this machine run literally forever and stack all of the materials it makes into a subnetted ME system for convenient storage. We probably were not going to run out of any of these in the first place, but with this project done, I can now say with a great deal of certainty that we now really aren't. Meanwhile, Duck has been busy doing Duck things, where he makes these incredibly complicated cursed mechanical gadgets that somehow, despite containing enough wingdings to pass themselves off as an Undertale fanfic writer and being basically ducking impossible to comprehend without a college degree in subnet design, work. Case in point, this is an automated extruder setup that runs multiple extruders in parallel and can automatically craft with any of the extruder shapes. And it even mostly functions. I would not have been able to tell you what this machine did from looking at it, so I'm kind of taking it on faith here. And frankly, I have not the foggiest idea why this works, but I do know that a crucial part of its normal operating procedure is to break the extruders when crafting with them, and after I figured that part out, I kind of just was content to treat it as a magic box that you can put patterns into. Speaking of magic boxes, the next passive on my list produces endstone, obsidian, soul sand, netherrack, and nether quartz by rubbing a bunch of magical leaves on top of cobblestone farms and sucking the outputs into yet another ME storage system, because Thaumcraft is a balanced mechanic that definitely doesn't need to be nerfed in any way. This whole system exists precisely, solely, and only to provide a convenient source of crude oil for use in our plastic and petrochem refinement processes. For the most part, I tend to stay away from petrochem in New Horizons because I think it's an annoying and difficult to optimize mechanic, but ironically, you end up needing quite a lot of plastic to make solar panels efficiently, and I was too lazy to breed bees for it, so this was my compromise. Obviously, this necessitates a passive petrochem processing line to do something with all of this raw oil, and because, as previously stated, I hate working with petrochem, I just kind of hard-coded its operation in the design with a bunch of filtered fluid pipes, many large tanks for storage buffering, and a few LCRs that are roughly 70% fluid hatch by volume. The whole design is frankly terrible. The proof that it works can best be summarized as dude just trust me, and the fact that it is allowed to exist in this world at all is proof that God has abandoned humankind, but as a side benefit, we can now turn the magic of the nether and a few milliseconds of MSPT into an infinite and somewhat concerningly large quantity of expensive rock juice until the heat death of the universe, or something breaks down and needs maintenance, whichever comes first. For my final trick, I then take the by now several million stacks of clay dust at our disposal and start running those through another automated system that will spontaneously produce aluminum, lithium, silicon, sodium, and solar-grade silicon, and also an enormous amount of oxygen, out of the lovingly flensed remains of monsters' prefrontal cortexes and what little is left over from our now already very saturated energy grid, which is to say the spare amperage capacity I had left over from the petrochem line and some XP crafting. Between this setup, the XP crafting setup, our passive petrochem production, and our fully automated maximum size cleanroom that Mastiox made off camera and I didn't mention until now because the video is already almost an hour long and I've got to cut something, we now have all of the pieces we need for scaling our solar power production, and frankly I don't have much left that we need to do until EV. And so, for now, I think we will leave it there. Thank you all for your time, and as always, I hope you enjoyed.